Every time during those 12 years when I hear the national anthem, I had goosebumps every time. And even right now when I'm talking, I have it. I was super proud when I was wearing that jersey.
I feel like there's something very particular for Lithuanians and representing Lithuania.
For me, it was harder to finish that chapter than it's gonna be to finish my career. There is a lot of luck in basketball. Sometimes you can be 10% better than the other player, but you're gonna play in second division in Germany and you're gonna be in the league.
Coming from Europe, what was the biggest adjustment you had to do?
There is no pressure.
Do you think that this shift of mentality is what made the league less attractive than it used to be before?
I think so, and I'm really happy for the players that they're earning so much money. But I think sometimes when you're 19 and you get the contract of I don't know how many millions, your brain can work a little bit different.
You speaking about the business side of the NBA, you were also a victim of this business side.
During the summer, Phil Jackson, who basically brought me there, he left, management changed, I wasn't receiving playing time, and maybe I was too cocky.
But are you happy with the decisions you made in your career?
Well,
Kuz, you have been playing all over the world. I think he's probably one of the biggest CVs we have on the show, right?
True, yes.
So many teams. That's why we're going to change a bit the first question with you. And I would like to know what's the one thing for a player like you that played all over the world that basketball taught you?
oh, immediately, such a hard question, huh? That in general, in basketball, nothing is permanent, like every day is different. And sometimes I compare basketball to theater, even though it's totally two different things. But for example, we're basically entertainers. And people, they're paying money to come to watch us, to have a good emotion. In theater, you can practice and you're going to do the same every day. In basketball, every day is different. One day you win, one day you're happy, but in 2 days you can be down by 30 and you can have meetings with coaches, with GMs and etc. So maybe that's the thing, that nothing is permanent and never too high, never too low. After the wins, you cannot be too happy. After losses, you cannot be too sad.
You said you enjoy the discussions with people that are non-basketball related. So if you meet someone that doesn't know nothing about basketball, doesn't know who you are, and that person asks you, what is your biggest accomplishment in your life? What would you tell that person?
It might sound very silly, but probably my kid.
Yes.
Honestly, it changed the life completely. Probably there are a lot of stats in basketball, but I would like someone to count the numbers, how they increase when you have the first newborn. Even though you are more tired, you don't sleep during the nights, and your schedule is totally ruined, but that energy, that it changed your life completely. And even after the losses, sometimes you're coming back home, and when you don't have a kid, you live with that. You don't sleep during the night because you're worried. Right now, you open the door, the kid is happy. He doesn't care you won, you lost. He just gives you a hug, says I love you, and that's it. So probably that's the thing.
I heard from a close source that your kid is probably the reason you still play today. Is this true?
Well, some part of yes, because I think we need to ask my fiance if I'm a family guy, but I think I am. So I just want him to remember me playing. My mother, she used to play basketball, my brother too, and I remember those moments, and I think it can be a good influence for him to maybe follow my steps, maybe choose another path, but just in general to remember, because my career could be worse, my career could be better, but I'm proud of it.
Nice.
Did you become a better player since you're a father?
Well, I'm playing in lower levels, so yes, it's easier to play.
That's a nice one.
Let's take it back from the beginning. Of course, started basketball in Lithuania, which I've experienced that for the first time last year, and I was shocked about the level of engagement Lithuanians have towards basketball, especially when you play for Žalgiris Kaunas.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what was it like? What was it like performing in this environment as a Lithuanian player?
Well, I think that Lithuanians, they love not the teams, but they love wins. And I was thinking like that all the time before I came to Greece. Here they love wins way more than we do.
Okay, for real?
No, like for example, take, I don't know, Panathinaikos example. Let's say 3 years ago when they weren't that good, even in EuroLeague games, the gym was half empty, let's say. And right now it's sold out probably a few days before that. But yeah, Lithuania is a basketball country. I'm not sure if other sports are so bad or basketball is so good, you know?
I think I had a stat, football, in like the UEFA ranking,
Yes.
is only better than the countries like Monaco and stuff.
Yes. Sometimes we play 1-1 with San Marino. With all the respect to our soccer players, they're getting better now, and I'm very happy because as long as the country has more sports, more kids can go there and look at the good examples. So in general, I think like my mother, like I said, she was a basketball player. My father, he was a table tennis champion of Lithuania.
Wow.
But when you need to choose two paths in Lithuania, there are no questions where
You
you
played
go.
table tennis when you were a kid?
Yes. Even right now at my father's house, my parents' house, we have a table tennis table. So me and my brother, every summer, it's a big derby. It's Olympiacos, Panathinaikos,
Who's winning?
Most of the time, I do.
Okay.
Did this actually contribute to your basketball game, like table tennis?
Not really.
all?
And when I talk, not really.
What is this question?
Not really. And when I talk with my father, there are a lot of differences because, in table tennis, you're responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
And I remember perfectly when I went to Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, there is a huge lifting room and there are all kind of athletes, best athletes in the world. Immediately you can tell who are in the team and who are, just preparing alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, for example, if I'm a swimmer, if I will swim bad that day, I'm done.
Yeah.
If you're a basketball player, if you have a bad day, your teammate can step up, and you're gonna be good. So I think in team sports is less pressure, more fun, because every time you have 4 people around, even though I play with 100 players and probably let's say 3 or 4 will stay my friends, for my life. But still, I think it's way more fun to be in a team.
This podcast is brought to you by our dear sponsor, Betsson. Betsson is a huge supporter of sports with over 60 years of experience represented in 24 countries all around the world. They sponsor a lot of teams such as, for example, the Lithuanian national team, the Lithuanian National League, Aris Betsson, Peristeri Betsson and Mykonos Betsson. In football, Betsson proudly supports a lot of teams such as Inter Milan, Racing Club, Club Brugge and Boca Juniors. They are also the title sponsor of the Betsson Greek Cup. Beyond football and basketball, Betsson is active in a lot of other sports as well, reinforcing its commitment towards teams, player and the sports community globally. Thanks again to Betsson because without them this episode wouldn't be possible and a lot of other episodes that are coming as well. So thank you again Betsson for supporting us in this project, supporting our episodes and enjoy the rest of the show.
I feel like your mind is filled with memories just thinking about it. And
Yes.
It's interesting. But apparently before you played basketball, you wanted to be a referee, if I remember correctly.
Not before, during.
During.
Yes, because let's say when I was 16, I was still in my basketball school's second team, and I wasn't playing too much. Yeah, I was going to Šarūnas Marčiulionis basketball school, which when I think, I will tell a little bit, at that time it was amazing. Because despite that we're practicing basketball, our coach was looking at our marks in school. And if you're studying bad, he doesn't allow you to practice. It reminds me movie Coach Carter a little bit. Yes.
Top movie ever.
Then we had computer classes at that time, English lessons and ethics, So I think like I said a lot of times, I think personality comes first, not everyone can be a basketball player, especially let's say what's the percentage that you're gonna become a pro?
Yeah.
Very little.
Yeah.
But you can be a good person. So coming back to the referee, so I was 16 and I thought that, basketball is not for me, but I love that game and I want to stay close to it. So I started going to the lessons and I got a refereeing license when I was 16.
So it was close to you becoming an actual real ref.
So I was in City League. I was getting even little money.
Oh shit!
If we convert to euros, it was 8 euros per game. So yes.
Wow.
So you're not the guy that fights with the referees?
If you ask referees, I think no. With the age, maybe a little bit more, but I'm never insulting because it's a very hard job. It's very, very hard job. And I was a bad ref, so I understand how they feel.
But for you, okay, now about the refereeing, what makes the difference between, other than the calls, but what makes the difference between a good ref and a bad ref?
Approach the player. And if I'm coming to talk to you in a good way, because we basketball players, sometimes we don't know all the rules. And I think from my experience, the higher level of the referee is, the more approachable he is and more he's going
But
to
they're
talk
not
to
even
you.
allowed to talk with them so much, no? The referees in your league. Like, I don't think
think
they're
they
so
can.
allowed to speak with them a lot.
Yeah, but they're polite. They can answer. They can explain their decision. And yesterday I went to a FIBA Europe game, and when I saw that some of the players are coming in a polite way to talk to them, and you say, no. That means that you cannot prove your decision.
Yeah.
So that's.
What do
that's
you
the
think
thing.
about this now? Like how the game changed, like in the referee aspect, like with all these cuts, and they need to go to check on the TV, and like, what's your perspective about that?
Two sides. From one side, it's more fair.
Yeah.
Because the decisions when you look at the replay are more accurate. But from the fan side, I think sometimes the tempo of the game slows and it's not that entertaining. So sometimes even little mistakes during the game, it gives some spark to the game. But in the future, maybe AI will gonna be a coach. Not the coach. I'm sorry, referee. So
I mean, yeah, it's happening everywhere.
which
so why
I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, because at the end of the day, some little cheating, some little holding is
It's part of it,
still
right?
part of the
It's
game.
part of
I mean,
it,
you see it
man.
with football right now, the VAR.
Yes.
It's being too much debated because
Yes.
it was before. Now it's about millimeters, and it really breaks the game. It's weird.
And
but
also, it's all about emotion. Like before, they score a goal, they run, they take their shirt
Yeah.
out, and right now they're waiting for 2
It's
minutes.
so slow,
They
man.
say
It's
goal,
so
and everybody,
slow.
okay,
yeah.
Honestly,
the
it's too
momentum
slow,
is not
man.
the same.
Speaking about emotions, are you a player that is running on emotions, or you're very logic? How would you describe your game?
Sometimes inside myself, I have a lot of emotions, but usually I'm Lithuanian. So I don't show it too much, We northern countries, we don't show our emotions too much, I
Well, we
think,
Germans, we show it.
yeah, totally. A couple of days ago, me and Harry, the best video maker in Greece, we were parking, and I said, can you ask that there was old guy, if I can park here? And Harry went, he asked in Greek, and the guy said, blah, 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 blah. And I thought that he's just, cursing us out. And I said, Harry, so can we park? He said, yeah. He said, yes. So, in Lithuania, if it's a yes, I said, yes, that's it. But in Greece, every time when you talk to each other and you don't understand it looks like they're fighting. So coming back to the question, I think that we're pretty conservative and we don't show our emotions too much.
It's funny because the players are conservative, but the fans are everything but conservative in Lithuania. And I was even shocked because in Abu Dhabi, there was the next gen tournament, which Žalgiris ended up winning. And even for an under 18 game, there were so many fans watching. Like, there's the support and the energies. For me, I've never seen it.
But at the end of the day, it's a polite support, I would say.
True.
If you go to Serbia, it's a different type of support. If you go to the games in Greece, for example, we play in Saloniki against Iraklis, it's different type of support.
What type of support is it
Yes.
here? What is it here?
Well, in general, sometimes, like I said, we're playing for the fans, and sometimes even during away games, I just want to watch them, how they enjoy, how they support. And you just take a look at them and, then all the signs start going to your side, and guys, I just want to, in a good way, I was just to see how you support the team. So,
But we had this little situation with your basket this summer where I think Dennis Schroeder, right, was getting cursed by Lithuanian fans. What's your approach with that? Like what's your perspective from an outside?
it's a big shame, and I was very not happy, let's say, but I was, let's say, it was a positive reaction from our society, because everybody said that it's bad. The federation, I think, yes, even government, some people of government, all the players for sure. Because, at the end of the day, I played in so many countries with so many players, and the only thing which can make you different is, let's say, respect to the others and being a good person. Because all those racist colors, at the end of the day, is nothing for me.
It's terrible. It's crazy how how like, you know, this happened to Schroeder and this was like a big media thing. And then the same thing happened to Francisco and nobody spoke about it, you know?
Yes.
Crazy to me.
But at the end of the day, also I like that the fans, even the fans who were there, they reacted in another game. They made a poster because you know it's thousands of people, and everywhere in thousands of people you're gonna find one or two people who are maybe a little bit drunk or something, which is not an excuse, and make some stupid shit. And even though I think that the same guy who did that, if on the street he would see Dennis, he would, can we take a picture? Can for sure, you know. So I don't think that even he thought about it, but it was a big scandal, and hopefully Lithuanian fans will never show it again.
I was sad because, as you said, the Lithuanian fans are, yes, one of the most engaged, but one of the most respectful fan base. So it was just a shame that it ended up being the Lithuanians playing into this.
Yes. And it just, you know, we should understand it's one person, not all of our fans community. And we can see a lot of games when they're even making some funny chants with another fans, another country fans.
Yes.
Instead of fighting, you know, they're making fun, drinking beer together.
I mean,
that's the beauty of basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, tell that to the Serbians and the Greeks. I don't think it's gonna work. But yeah, man. Coming back to your career in Žalgiris, of course, as a young kid from there, you grew up the ranks, played better and better, and after that, I believe you went to Málaga, right? Mm-hmm. What was the deciding factor for you to leave your comfort zone?
It was a lot of factors. Well, first factor that in that year we had huge financial problems. And, you know, the owner left and there was no, let's say, no view about the future. You know, nobody knew what's gonna happen, you know. And I finished the season good, and I understood that at that time Žalgiris was way different than it is now. Right now it's, let's say, big power in Europe, even in European basketball. At that time it wasn't. And to make a one step forward, I decided to go to Spain. They offered me a contract pretty, let's say, early in the summer. And, you know, ACB, the best league in Europe, EuroLeague, and that was the thing. And also when I signed, immediately Coach Plaza signed in Málaga. And I think he was the one who gave me a chance in Žalgiris. And also the thing is that looking even at Žalgiris history, the players who went to a higher level, I'm talking about Lithuanian players, they played good, they played a lot at that times when Žalgiris had money problems. Because they cannot afford good foreigners, they give a chance to their players, and then there is a chance.
Yes. It's a cycle.
for young kids. Because right now in EuroLeague to get a chance for a young guy, let's say
tough,
19,
This is
20,
crazy.
it's super hard because
tough.
competition is very hard.
I heard, I don't know if it's true, I would like to know your perspective on it. I heard that Žalgiris, back in the days, there was like a cap, like a salary cap where a player couldn't have more money than this. Is it true?
Well, it was
Like an internal
not
rule,
so
something
many
like
years
that,
ago,
right?
but that cap was already forgotten.
It's done now, right?
yes. When they have some new investors, you know, part owners of the club.
Biggest budget this year.
Yes, and
Of their history.
yeah, and they're super nice guys, and they're very innovative, and I think the Žalgiris is going in a very good way because it's becoming not only Lithuanian team, but let's say Baltic team, or even people from Poland coming to watch. So that's fun, and I think they're doing great job.
So this was the first time you left the country. Did you ever think that you would have the career you have today, where you traveled everywhere across the world, or you were thinking, okay, I'm in Málaga, I'm going to stay forever in Málaga? Like, what was your mentality?
Honestly, when you start the career, then you're thinking that I would like to stay as many years as possible in one club. But at that time, you know, the offers were better, the countries were better, and I had to leave, you know. You cannot say, and especially when you're young. Right now, I can choose, you know, even if I have a better offers, it's not the main thing at this point of my career. And in general, when I think about it, I was super successful with the places and teams where I played. It was Málaga, New York, Milan,
This is crazy,
Athens,
man.
you know.
Crazy.
All the best places where people usually go to vacation, and I've been privileged to play there.
There was a little stop, a little fictive stop between Malaga and New York. I heard from a trusted source that you were about to sign with Darashufaka. And did you ever like practice with them or not at all?
Some of the stories, and I said, Tadas, I will not tell the story about it too much. Some of the stories I want to keep to myself because I don't want to tell all the good stories during my career because I want to keep few of them that when I finish my career and I have a press conference or something that I can tell them.
Okay.
So can we make a deal that when you retire, we meet you again on the podcast and you will tell us the stories?
Okay.
I like
How
that.
much you pay me? Because after career I need to get paid, you know.
We're gonna find something. We're gonna find
Some
something.
resources, huh? No, just kidding. Of course.
So tell me, after this stop, the Big Apple, Madison Square Garden, Joakim Noah, Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Rose, how is it like for a Lithuanian to arrive in the city that never sleeps?
When I think about it, I was too shy, and I could enjoy that moment more, you know.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Damn.
Even I signed with New York, and then we had Olympic Games, and it was opening ceremony, and you know there are countries going to the stadium, and we see that there are national team of United States of America, and Carmelo Anthony is there, and everybody, all the players from the Lithuanian team, they say, "How go to say how," and they were expecting that he doesn't know me, and he would say like, "Who are you?" You know, something like this, and I didn't go.
Because you thought of this?
And I knew that we are teammates. In 3 weeks we're gonna meet in training camp, but I was too scared. Yes. And then I went to New York, and I remember we were stretching after practice, and I told Melo the story, and he said, "Of course I know you. I knew you. You know, like maybe he didn't know me as a player, but he knew that I signed and I'm playing for national team and etc." So yeah.
How
So
is
I
he,
was
Melo?
too shy. Very, very good guy, and I can tell you one funny story. I remember. We had a kind of team building dinner, maybe club, I don't know. But and me and Willie Hernan Gomez were getting out for the club from the restaurant, and we were waiting for Uber because we lived in the same building. And Melo went out and he said, like, "Guys, what are you waiting for?" We said, "Uber." And he said, wait, my driver will take you home, because he lived a couple of blocks away. So his driver took us home, and he walked home, and we are
Melo walked home.
yes,
Nice.
a couple of blocks away, you know. And when we are rookies, and you know, basically no names in that league or something like that. But it was very nice from him.
But tell me, how you go from Malaga, where you have very good stats, but nothing that will make you think, okay, this is a lockdown NBA player. You went undrafted. So how do you manage to go from Malaga to New York Knicks? What's the process?
Honestly, after the season, I went immediately to the States. I had a couple workouts with two teams. I'm not going to tell the names. Both teams offered me, and I didn't have contact with New York. But as I understood, my previous agent, at least he told me that he was talking a little bit with them before. But at the end of the day, what I understood that Spanish league is one of the best in this case, because a lot of scouts come in. And sometimes you don't even know. And as I understand, they had rights to Willie Hernan Gomez. They came a couple times to watch him. He didn't play those games. I played good against Madrid. They saw me, and they liked it, and that's it. So there is a lot of luck in basketball. Sometimes you can be, let's say, 10% better than the other player, but he's gonna play in second division in Germany, and you're gonna be in the league. So
That's crazy.
that's a lot of little things, when you think about it.
And do you think that Spanish league is still the number one league in Europe to make the jump to the NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
In general, the junior program is good. Right now, of course, France, Germany, for sure, they're there too. But in general, that Spanish basketball, all the teams are great. Like, you go to play against the last team and you can lose it. So the life style in Spain, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Coming from Europe, what was the biggest adjustment you had to do?
There is no pressure.
Really?
That was a very weird thing. Like, in Europe, if you lose 6 in a row, usually you have some meetings.
You had
Everybody,
no pressure in New York?
like, not really. Comparing to Europe,
So many players said that they had huge pressure playing in Europe.
like comparing to other NBA teams, yes. Because the fans are a little bit, picky, because usually some rich people coming, everybody knows what to say. But in general, no. Like, you lose 6 games in a row, coach comes to locker room and guys, we're in a good way, keep positive, blah blah blah. And in Europe, if you lose 6 games in a row, you might get fired,
Yeah.
So
I remember we had Mirotic on the podcast and he said the same thing about, I actually felt good to not feel the pressure every single game.
Yes,
But then he
yes.
started missing it at some point. But also I've seen a podcast of Danilo Gallinari that he was speaking about how some of his teammates were too stressed because of the superstars that were in the stands and all those people. Were you ever at some point starstruck playing in the Madison Square Garden and seeing all those crazy people courtside, or just...
Yeah, there were a lot of stars. Maybe it was my problem that maybe I didn't know all of them.
Yeah,
It's a nice problem to have.
that's cool.
But at the end of the day, it's fun for... Maybe it makes not stress, but let's say it's a little bit weird, couple games, but then you just get used to it. Like people get used to good things or bad things very, very quick.
I want to come back to the workouts you had before coming to the NBA. How do these workouts look like? What do you do with who? I have no idea really.
Yeah. So there are different type of workouts, but the ones I did, it was just you and let's say 3-4 coaches. And that's it. They're just giving you drills. Usually they kill you. They see you how you react, and you must react. I want more.
They really push it, like.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
interesting.
Yes. It's super hard. At least the ones I did, it was super hard.
I just thought they're gonna just ask you to show like skills
No.
and your body.
I think it's in general. Sometimes I think we are overthinking because they have so much stats. They saw you so many times. They can get you every detail about you. They just want to know you to see live, to see how you react. So that's the thing. That's why you're making some dinners with them. They want to know your background, about your family, and etc.
I heard that Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra make the craziest, hardest workouts because they really want to see how the players react
Yes.
when he's pushed beyond his limits.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it
Exactly. Or
depends.
you give up, or no.
Even dinner is like a test because you got to answer the good answers.
Probably. Yes.
You that played in the league, I would like to have your
And
perspective.
I just want to tell that for some of the guys who are watching this, it might look that I'm talking like I played 10 years there. No, but I have little experience which I'm sharing.
Of course, and we love that. You that played in the league, and like you said, coach coming in the locker room, we 06, doesn't matter. Do you think that this shift of mentality is what made the league less attractive sports-wise right now than it used to be before?
I think so. And I'm really happy for the players that they're earning so much money. That's a good thing. But I think sometimes when you're 19 and you get the contract of, I don't know how many millions, your brain can work a little bit different, and it can unmotivate you. And especially right now, what's going on with universities, where guys are getting 1 million per season and maybe their value is 5,000 a month here. And I'm not sure how much motivation they have. Some of them have, but not all of them. And after those, let's say 3-4 years, when they need to get back to reality, it might be very, very hard,
What do you think is going to happen? Because now it's the first generation of NIL players.
Yes.
But those players that make 1 million, as you said, they're going to come here and have
I
to...
think still some
Second
smart...
division Germany is gonna be
I think
tough,
it's not
man.
going to last for too long, honestly.
I think they put a salary cap.
Yes,
now there's
yes,
the
yes,
max
yes,
out, but
yes,
this is crazy. How?
But you think money is the reason of the game being less attractive in the US now?
Not really. In general, I'm not sure, but for example, when I was growing up with Chicago Bulls, with Utah Jazz, and you see certain faces or certain team which are attached to the team. Yeah. Right now, every year the teams are so different, and some of the players changing the teams with the trades every year, and it's my opinion that the teams, they don't have their faces. Right now, okay, let's say Jokic, Denver Nuggets, Giannis, okay, everything is good, and I like those teams more. But some of those teams were changing those faces, and in general, I think that when LeBron or Curry retires, then I don't think that the face is gonna be that familiar to all the world like it was before.
We saw it with Luka. I mean, they're ready to make big sacrifices,
Yes.
Crazy.
But you speaking about the business side of the NBA, you were also a victim of this business side because, as you said, you played 1 year, you played great, and then shortly after the second year started, I think you were waived, or what happened here?
That's a story which I want to keep, but I'm gonna tell a little bit. So yeah, basically during the summer, Phil Jackson, who basically brought me there, he left, and the management changed, and I came after Eurobasket, and I felt that like it's a little bit, everything is different, you know, and I wasn't receiving playing time, and maybe I was too cocky, and I wanted to leave, and we found an agreement with the team that they can let me go. And there is one very interesting story which I will keep. No, for real.
Yeah,
because
no problem.
because like I said, like your career with one decision can go one or another way. Very, very easy. Really? And who knows, if I could make at that time different decision, maybe I would be still there, you know.
But are you happy with the decisions you made in your career?
Some of them yes, some of them no. It's normal, but like I'm repeating to myself. No. Like I'm repeating to myself. If before my career, when I had a refereeing license and I was about to quit basketball, somebody would give me a paper and said, "Listen, you will have this career. Sign here immediately with my blood." So,
One small parenthesis with all the things that you've been through during your career. The one thing that stuck to me is your smile. You always play with smile. You're always happy. Where does that positive energy comes from?
last year when it was my birthday, one of Lithuanian televisions, national television, they wrote a post, "Happy birthday" to me, and they posted an interview where I was 7 years old and I was playing in a family tournament 3-on-3, and they took an interview from me. And even at that interview, I'm smiling all the time. So I don't know why, but in general, you know, I would say I'm a positive, optimistic person, and for me, the glass will be always half full. Yeah. And life is too short not to enjoy.
You had a healthy childhood?
Yes, I think I was up in a family where maybe we couldn't afford some vacation or dinners in restaurant, but every time we had food and warm water or something like that. And I grew up, you know, in 90s in Lithuania, where we just got our independence, where from the practice you cannot walk home because they're gonna steal your wallet, you gotta run, you know. So when you live through those things and when you see how you live now, how my parents are healthy, I have beautiful family, my brother, you know, is healthy, sister. So just my when it was my last birthday, the only wish to myself was that I would like everything to continue like that, because at the end of the day, I have everything. You know, if I would have a better career, yes, I would maybe have more respect, more honor, more money. But at the end of the day, everything what I have is enough for me.
Beautiful.
This smile, once again, this is me how I was introduced to you as a player. Because, of course, I was younger and I wasn't a heavy, hardcore basketball watching every game. But I saw this Lithuanian player in New York Knicks with the blonde curls, smile, but killing everyone. And this for me, this is crazy. But you being this very known as this very nice, kind guy, do you think that sometimes people, players, coaches took advantage of this and saw this as a weakness?
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you gave me the last question, I wanted to mention this, but I forgot that. Yeah, maybe it didn't help to my career as well, because everybody's saying, this a good guy, you know, he's not a fighter, etc. And sometimes people are judging other people by how they look. But from the other side, I agree that sometimes I should be more fighter, have more killing instinct or something like this. Because if I make a hard foul and the guy is on the floor, I will pick him up.
Okay.
I know a lot of players who don't even allow other teammates to pick him up. But at the end of the day, for me, no, it's my personality, and I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah, but I'm sure at night, because you didn't change for no one, I'm sure you sleep well. Because you stay true to yourself. And
I guess the game speaks anyways at the end of the day.
The game speaks for itself, man.
Yes, but like I said, it could be better, it could be worse. And it's sometimes we are talking too serious about the game. I understand that it involves a lot of people. Some of the people, it can make life better or worse. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. And when we talk about the stress before the game, do I feel stress? Yes, even right now, even before the friendly games when we're playing second division teams. But you cannot compare this stress or talk that serious as you were a doctor and you need to do heart surgery or brain surgery, you know? Yeah. So just let's enjoy as much as possible.
It's very inspiring, man.
Coming back a bit on the NBA, What was your welcome to the league moment?
It wasn't the welcome to the NBA moment, but it showed a little bit different philosophy, like I said. And I remember I came before training camp, and there was a weekend where Melo invited everyone to Puerto Rico. You know, just to enjoy, just to be together with the team. You know, your second, your better part. And I remember I was talking to my agent. I was like, listen, maybe I should stay here and to work, to show the team that I'm really, you know, ready for those practices for the season. And I remember I stayed. I didn't go to Puerto Rico. Even most of the team went. I stayed.
I would have so.
I
would have been in
but
the
listen,
jet
I
first.
stayed there, and Friday evening I received a message that you have weekend off. Don't go to the gym.
Oh,
So I missed the Puerto Rico. I didn't, you know, show anything to nobody. So that was my sad start in the league.
Oh, yeah.
And then I see the pictures, you know, guys on the ocean, you know, having
my
dinner,
God.
you know, with Melo.
How do a star player like Melo react when he invites you, like the rookie, and you don't show up? He doesn't care, professional or?
Actually, it wasn't him. He has a lot of people around him, his team, who's inviting, who's sending me emails, and you know, that was my natural excuse, and I think he could understand. And at the end of the day, I think before the season, he didn't even see that I'm not there. So because there was a lot of people.
but tell me how life is in New York. Because also myself, I studied and played 2 years at NYU, so I lived 2 years in New York. And for me, Sam, I like more introvert, and this city was too much for me. You say you're shy,
Yes.
and it's got to be a big contrast. What was it like for you to live
In
New
general,
York?
I'm a nature guy. I love
Yes.
nature. You know.
Central Park?
Yes. But even here, I live close to the sea, and I'm trying to find a silent place as possible, which is in Athens is not that easy. But there, I think it's a very nice experience for a couple of years to live there, to feel everything, to go to Broadway shows, to see some nice restaurants, some mess at the end of the day, you know, the tempo of the life, where everybody is late, where everybody is running. You don't have 5 minutes to enjoy your coffee or something like this. Yes. So it's nice to experience, but if I would like to live there, no.
Better Europe, huh?
Finishing up on Melo and all the other star players that you played with, as a rookie, how do you gain a star player's trust?
I think it's for players, for coaches, is just to be fair, just to be open. Don't try to pretend, and then everybody will like you. Because I remember my first steps when I came to Žalgiris. I was before in Šiauliai, Lithuanian team. We were third. Everything is simple guys, you know, or starting their careers or finishing their careers. You know, some jokes which you can do with your classmates, and you come to Žalgiris, where the money level is way different. The level of the game is way different, and it was like light jail at those times, you know, because every word you say, you know, it might be used against you. Yes, and I was very taking it. I was, for example, if somebody makes a joke about my hair, about my playing style, I was getting insulted, you know, until I understood that if you're gonna start laugh from yourself before they do, everything, yes, and just be yourself.
Coming back to Europe, you know, you had this pre-NBA, post-NBA, and as we said, you played for so many different teams that we cannot cover them all. But for you, in your opinion, if you think of one team, one good memory, which one would it be for you?
Last year, before Champions League Final Four, before semi-final against Málaga, Unicaja, which one was my first team abroad, I was giving interview to Spanish media, and I said, like, Málaga is like my first love. Maybe you're not together at the moment, but it's always going to be in your heart.
More than Žalgiris?
Huh?
More than Žalgiris?
So Žalgiris is the country, is from my country, you know, it's you cannot take it out from me, you know, but at the end of the day, if I need to choose between those teams where it's harder to find connection, you know, so it would be for sure Málaga.
It's very interesting because the other day we had Printesis on the podcast, and for him it was the absolute opposite. It was forever Olympiacos, went to Malaga, and for him was the worst he ever felt.
Yes, because he didn't play so good there, and he came here, and again he was a European star.
But do you let your performance on the court impact your mental health, or you really separate those?
Right now, I'm trying to separate, but even now, maybe not every time it works.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
And how do you manage those
It's crazy,
emotions?
vet, like you saying this.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't.
yes, yes,
I wouldn't
yes.
have expected this.
Yes. But it's normal, you know. Like I said, like sometimes we're talking too serious about basketball, but at the end of the day, it's our life. You know, it's a game, but it's our life. And even right now, I don't care too much about my stats. I care more about winning, and it's a blessing. Because when you're younger, you need to, if you lose and if you play bad, it's like a double loss, you know. Right now, for me, I'm caring more about winning, and I'm trying to tell all the guys on our team what happened last season. I'm third season in Ajax. First season was horrible, and doesn't matter how good guys were playing, they didn't get good jobs.
True.
Last year, all of them actually, all of them, they get better contracts just because the team is doing successful. And especially EuroLeague teams, they're not gonna watch at you that you score 17 points in losing team. They're gonna watch how are you in the winning team. Maybe you're gonna be sixth best player, or maybe you're gonna be like the player for 7 minutes, which they need, And everybody's looking at winning teams.
You played against so many teams. So many. What's the best team you ever played against? Altogether.
Well, it's very easy answer. Maybe 2014 semifinal in the World Cup against United States
But you
of
killed.
America.
I watched the game just before. You
Yeah,
killed,
all
man.
championship I was playing bad. Then we started the game, and coaches knew that probably we're gonna lose, so they wanted to give rest to the guys who are gonna play more in the next game for the third place, and he gave me time, and yeah, I played good.
But tell me, because you were going
But probably
crazy.
that team, and from the club sport, maybe Golden State Warriors when they had Curry, Durant, and all those
Impossible to win.
players.
Impossible.
Impossible to beat. So.
Crazy. But this game 2014, right?
Uh-huh.
I watched the game, and you had Harden as a direct matchup.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a good time for Harden, huh?
Well,
Guide us through this game, please.
I understand him. He sees that some blonde hair, nice, not nice, but how you say, like, guy looking like me, coming to the court, who didn't play, who averaged maybe 3 points a game before. And he's James Harden at that moment, So, of course, you're not going to play defense, and you got to take advantage of it. So.
Bro, there's one scene where you drive left hand, and then you take him under the court, you bully him.
Yes,
He's going back fake.
yes.
You go, then he drives on you, big ass block coming from nowhere. How is it like?
Well, I think that sometimes during the summer when I play with my friends in summer house, I play harder than Harden played at that game.
Oh,
So
shit.
Okay.
But
he just didn't try.
But you diminish your performance when you can just be like, man, he played his ass off.
Yeah, but let's be realistic. Like I said before, be yourself. And I know that he didn't even try. And right now I say, I played a great game. No, it was. If they wanted to defend me better, I think they would. But when you're by 20, by 30, your motivation is not there.
But it was still a fun game to see. And
Yes,
also,
yes.
once again, against the USA, was more recently, I think in 2022 World Cup, which was, I spoke with people from the Lithuanian Federation. Your win against
23.
Yes, was arguably one of the country's biggest wins once again. And I was talking with Kulu about your abilities to just be clutch in the last 2 minutes. And when you beat Team USA, you had this out of bounds, last 3 seconds, make the shot. Got us to this game. What was it like to beat US in the group stages?
I just get into the court, I remember, after timeout. And in our scouting report, it was written that when Anthony Edwards is on you, don't even dribble the ball. He has super fast hands. And I get the ball. It's like 3 seconds left. I look, Edwards in front of me. I'm not the best dribbler. I make a dribble. Immediately he tries to steal. I see like 1 second left. I just turn around. And it was a lucky shot,
Lucky, but that was the deciding.
Yes,
You like
yes.
the US,
And from
huh?
one side it's good because it's one of our historical wins. From the other side, we won, and then we faced Serbia in quarterfinals.
Yes.
Otherwise, we would face Italy, which was, I think, way better opponent for us. But I'm very proud of us that we didn't try to do any shady things, and it's better to lose in quarterfinals than to do those things in basketball, which are
Yes.
not nice.
Even to this day, you still, because it was very debatable, but You cannot refuse a victory like this. It's unique, and as you said, you stay true to yourself.
Exactly.
Play every game. So
Exactly. I think that, if you would do those things, maybe karma would hit you and you would lose against Italy as well, So
I like that. And it's very fair for me, honestly, too.
Who is the hardest player you had to guard ever?
I would say, if we're talking about offense and defense, I think he was at that prime Kawhi Leonard.
Why?
Because, when he tried to defend me, I couldn't move,
Simple as that.
Man, it's unbelievable, long arms,
He's so strong.
hands everywhere, crazy.
Is it real? Like his hands are like actually huge.
Yes.
Man, you have some fun stories to say about your time, but it was cool. I want to come back to your time at Ike. Now that you're in Ike, you're here playing a different role. You're a leader because you're one of the more experienced player on the team. Not to say old, I'm respecting. But what is it like this new role to be a vocal leader? When I'm thinking that maybe it's not your main strength to be vocal. What is it like now?
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm super vocal. I don't like speeches in front of the team or something like this. If I have something to say, I would rather take the guy and talk with him individually. Okay. Because also, everybody has their egos, and sometimes if you're gonna try to say something negative about that player in front of everybody, they can react different way, And when you say only to him, he can understand that you want good for him.
True.
So, but like I said, it's a blessing when you don't need to care too much about your stats, because, if I'm doing bad, nobody wants me. I can finish my career. If somebody needs me, I will still playing because I love this game, and it's a blessing not to think too much about your future and be at that moment.
Is your family still live with you here full time?
Most of the time, let's say.
I'm sure they're like a great support for you when you're feeling down.
Yes.
What's you mentioned talking to a player individually. What's the best advice a vet or another player gave you?
I remember not advice, but it's a funny story. In national team, I think it was 2013, my first year where I made national team, and we had coach Jonas Kazlauskas. And my mother, she was a tough player. She was a great rebounder, great defender, total opposite than me. And one time I made a couple of turnovers, and coach said, like, in front of everybody, he said, listen, if you had balls like your mother had, you would be an amazing player.
What the hell?
Okay. So it's not an advice, but it led something in my head, what I had to think about.
Okay. That's funny.
Another trusted source question.
AKA Tadas.
Okay, Tadas, you played in Zenit, right? Mm-hmm. And with the unfortunate situation happening, you were one of the first player leaving right away, right? No questions asked. Can you guide us through this moment? What happens?
Tough moments. And also, I think, first of all, it affected all the world, in a very bad way. But talking only about myself, I think it affected my career too, because at that time we were maybe third, fourth in EuroLeague and etc. I think I had my role on that team. But I woke up, and I saw what's happening, and I didn't have too many doubts what to do. Just you need to do everything in a proper way, because we saw by a lot of examples that in that country a lot of things might be pretty dangerous, So basically, when I was leaving, I just went to, long story short, because there were a lot of things between, and also, like I said, personality. For example, I'm renting apartment from the people. They're not guilty of the situation was happening. I want to do in a right way with them, So it took me a couple of days to manage everything, but I made my decision immediately. And when I decided to leave next morning, I saw that the air zone is closed. That means that the planes are not flying nowhere, basically. And there is a small part of Russia, Kaliningrad, which is attached to Lithuania. And I don't know if the planes are going there or no. So I didn't sleep all night. And I was looking for the first plane to depart Kaliningrad. And I saw that it flies through Baltic Sea. Then immediately I took a taxi. I went paying everything cash. Went to the airport.
You were by yourself at this time?
Yes. And then I went to the airport. I took also ticket with cash, and then I landed in Kaliningrad. But the biggest, what I thought at that time, threat for me is to cross the borders.
Why cash though?
Just because
You were over careful.
Yes, of course. Because in this situation, you never know. Because knowing our country's history and everything, and even we saw examples when WNBA player, she was in jail for so long. You actually never know. So until I crossed the border, I was really scared. And then I remember I came back home. Everybody was happy that I came back because I had a newborn as well at that time. And then of course we had some dinner, and next morning I woke up and it was like probably all the stress came, and I'm just sitting for like 30 minutes, the heart is bumping, and for like half an hour I couldn't do anything. So maybe it was some kind of panic attack, but it was first and last time in my life. But there were a lot of details even after that, to get rid of that contract, and I just don't want to remember that. And then I don't wish even to my biggest enemy to go through situations like that. But at the end of the day, the saddest thing is what is going on in Ukraine right now.
But did you, because you said that you were doing all of this, like, trying to be very discreet about you move out?
Of course, because I didn't tell, I told only head coach that I'm leaving. I said, please don't
Not
tell
the team,
anybody.
right?
No.
And head coach respected the situation?
Yes.
Would you consider this moment the toughest moment of your career?
Yes, 100%. 100%, yes. And like I said, I think it affected my career not in a good way too. Yes. Because then I came back home and, I decided not to play anywhere. First of all, they didn't allow me to play. They didn't give me a letter of clearance. But even when I could, it was maybe 1 month of the season left. And, you were almost 2 months without the basketball. So I didn't want to do that. And you never know what would be if it's not this. But
like, how do you manage after such an emotional moment to stay focused and stay? I gotta find a new club.
Yes, but I think every people have their own bad moments. It's the same when one of your family members pass away. You just need to keep going. It's life and what to do.
Crazy, but didn't they then clear every player that was in a similar situation and gave them the allowance to play in other?
No, it was an uncertain situation. Me and Shabazz Nieper, who left first, we had way more players, way more problems who stayed and left, let's say, in a better way. But I couldn't be there for one more day in no way.
Actually sad, because Zenit was a good team back then.
Yes.
It was a very good team. Damn, man.
We're approaching
But it's more sad because of other things.
Obviously.
Like I said.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm curious because, of course, you're closer to the end of your career rather than the beginning. But now as a player...
Way closer.
Yes. Is there still something that you want to accomplish as a player before you retire?
Like I said, there are few things. So first is, like I said, I would love my kid to remember me playing. Second thing, when, like you said, when your end of career is closer than the beginning, it looks like you love that sport more and more. Because you understand that you're not going to have that feeling. And sometimes even I catch myself when you're playing in the full gym and you're winning, that you're running and you feel so good that you are able to do this thing. And from one side, sometimes I think that I will find something to do after my career, and I will not take a gap or something like this, because all the life you're in such a rhythm, and I don't want to finish that. So there are some moments where I'm thinking about it, but at the end of the day, until I can enjoy, until I can give some benefits for my team, I think I will still keep playing. And until I keep playing in the good places, surrounded by good people, which is very important. Because if the atmosphere is toxic, you don't want to go to practice, you don't want to be in locker room, you don't want to travel with your teammates, then why to do that in my case?
You ever had a toxic atmosphere?
Not really. I had few toxic players, but only few of them. Usually a good relationship, but sometimes it's fun to go to the locker room, to have time with the guys, to go on away games. And sometimes you do it as a job. Maybe it's not that toxic, but sometimes you just do because you have a contract and you have obligations and you get salary for it.
What's the one advice you would give to any player to have a career of your caliber?
No, I don't think that there is one advice. If there was one advice, for that, then everybody would do it and everybody would be successful. I cannot say maybe at that time super successful, but they have good enough careers. That's the same, when they asked an advice for marriage or something like that. There is no advice. Every story is different. Every career is different. Maybe right now I'm talking and I'm good because I never had a serious injury in my career. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna be injured too. So you never know. And but in general, just to work hard, to use the opportunities, because I think that what is the big difference maker is I think most of the players, they get some opportunities. Somebody get injury or I don't know, you have some little chance, and just to be ready to use that chance. When I think, when I was in Cholet, the team which I said, and I was 18, 19, and the main small forward, he got injured and he was out for 2 months. And those 2 months basically changed my career.
Yes.
Because maybe I would be still there if I wouldn't have a chance. So just to get a chance, to be ready for it, and to be ready for it, you need to work.
Interesting. And you think you would still play if you would be still in Cholet, or you would have stopped before?
I had this discussion with my brother a couple of days ago that maybe it sounds bad, but if let's say 28, 9 years old player getting salary which he could get in basically doing simple job, then it's better to stop.
We totally understand.
Because why to do that? Because then you finish your career, let's say 33, 36. You have zero working experience.
That's our life story, man.
You don't have savings or something, and you need to start everything from zero. Even players who had great careers, who have savings, they have sometimes problems, transferring their life from basketball player to another life, And talking about those players who doesn't have that successful career is very hard. So sometimes it's very good to understand that you're sorry, I'm not good enough. Yeah. I would rather start doing something else now.
Oh, this is exactly us, man, honestly.
It's very interesting because we have this very good friend of us, which is basically like our best friend that is also 28, 29, right? And he's in a situation, in my opinion, the most gifted player I have ever saw, right? And he still plays at the second division, like you say, like salary to live good, but not to have savings, right? And now it's in a situation where, okay, is he going to stay in this team and finish with 37 being at this level? Or should he go to Bahrain or Tokyo or something, but it's a discussion we're having a lot right now, would you tell anybody that is 28, 29 and still being at this level to stop basketball?
It's very easy to say for me right now because I'm not in that situation, but I think yes.
Before concluding this amazing podcast, by the way, I want to touch on a little bit about the national team, because you still play for a club, but you're retired for the national team. Of course, every player playing for their country is amazing. I feel like there's something very particular for Lithuanians and representing Lithuania. For you, what did it mean to wear this jersey?
Well, a lot. And I think for me, it was harder to finish that chapter than it's going to be to finish my career, honestly. Because you go there just for love, for respect of your country. I was super, super proud when I was wearing that jersey. And every time during those 12 years when we were going to the championship, when they hear the national anthem and all our fans are singing with us, I had goosebumps every time. Yeah. And even right now when I'm talking, I have it. So also basketball, our country is a little bit weird, and there are two ways to unite the country. One of them is when something bad happens, for example, let's say war or something, then we're super united to help someone or ourselves, or basketball.
This is crazy, yeah.
Because when you see, all the fans who are coming to, Philippines, who are just taking vacation from their jobs, and instead of going with their families, they're spending huge amounts of money to go, and maybe sometimes to have bad emotions because your national team might lose. So that's impressive, and like I said, I raised up in '90s where we were just getting back our country basically, and when you talk to your parents, when you talk to your grandmother who was sent to Siberia as a prisoner, when you hear those stories and you understand that it's a privilege to be a free country, then your point of view is way different. And right now I'm talking, and maybe most of the listeners, they will not understand this because they were never in this situation. But I think that's why our national team, for most of the players, is so important.
To all those Lithuanian fans that supported you and loved you because you were extremely loved as a national team player, what would you tell them today?
Thank you. Thank you. And like I told in the speech after my last game, my first friendly game with national team jersey was in the same arena where it was my last official game. Yes. And I remember that first game when, I'm going there to play with my shaking legs, and being afraid of everything. And at that time, I wouldn't even dream that I'm gonna play for national team for so many years, win 2 medals, and then that I would be able to have a privilege to tell a speech to all those Lithuanian fans and just to thank them for all those years together.
Is it the biggest responsibility you ever felt having this jersey?
Yes, because when you're playing for the club, at the end of the day, is a job contract. Yeah. You're getting money. If you're playing bad, they're gonna throw you out. If you're playing good, maybe you're gonna sign a better deal. That's it. And here, you're going there to play for free, and not because you must do this, but just because you want to do this. And these are two different things.
If one day everything is over and you're leaving this earth, what do you want to be remembered for?
Sometimes I'm maybe thinking even too much. But for example, I already wrote a will. If I die, what happens, And sometimes even I'm thinking about my funeral because you never know. Maybe I'm going to live until I'm 95, maybe not. So even my funeral, I would like to have in a more positive way. Instead of that sad music, I would like that they play music which I liked. I don't want, my family members or kids going and visiting me there. I would rather be in their memories as a positive guy who gave everything to them to have a good time on this earth.
Kuz, thank you so much. It was a big pleasure.
Thank you.